Okay.
Everything good on my end?
Everything is great. You look great. You look healthy. You look young. You look fresh.
Well, I just turned 50, so that's good. I
Happy
got the
to-
Benjamin Button disease.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, you're recording. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Challenge Express Choo Choo. And you are joined by the Valentines here. I am Tom, joined by my co-host, Nicole. What's up, Nicole?
Hey, I just recaulked the bathroom for the 5th time this month.
Wow. Jesus. You got to get some better caulk, if you know what I mean. Yeah. Recaulk sounds way better than caulk. You know?
If you say caulk enough times, like
It's not a good look. You might get fired from your job.
caulk. I gotta go handle some caulk. Hold on.
Goddamn caulk.
It's really hard to caulk, you know?
It's really hard to find a good, good caulk. All
Caulk.
right, it's taking it too far at this point. All right. Total Madness, episode 12. Overall, good episode. I enjoyed it. It was an hour and a half long, so, I mean, can't ask for much more than that recently.
I'm sorry, did you say you enjoyed how they took all the B-roll of Fessy and decided to put it in this episode?
Yeah, they had to put something in the episode once they took the Invisible Woman out.
All that this confirms is that Fessy had so much footage that they've been cutting out because he's boring as fuck, and now they're like, oh, I guess we got to put all this Fessy footage in.
Yeah, like that Fessy and Josh conversation, didn't need it.
There were so many, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, he talks, and then all of a sudden I'm like, how come they haven't shown him before talking? Oh wait, because it's really boring, and they had D instead.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it could have been just because Fessy did win his first daily challenge. He had a lot of power, even though I think D would have overshadowed overshadowed Fessy in the tribunal interrogations, especially with her beef with Rogan after all the shit that went down last episode.
yeah,
But yeah.
it seemed like this episode, Melissa, Fessy, and Kyle got the most screen time, and a lot of their screen time felt like it was like dug up from the archives of like, all right, we got to put this in there. Like, I will say, overall, I'm happy that it was an hour and a half, and they did a much better job editing. Like, you could tell that they had time, and it had a much better flow. Like, last week's episode was shit.
Yeah, that's universally agreed on, I hope. But
Yeah, editing last week was just rough.
But those people that did feature this episode did have to do with this episode. It almost was like they just had to add a half hour of just like useless talk.
Yeah, and also the daily challenge. That whole daily challenge, like, oh my gosh, that was like 40 minutes or something like that. Like,
Okay, was it that long? Yeah.
I don't know if it was maybe 30, but like they showed a lot of that they normally wouldn't have. But I actually don't mind that. Like, I like if it's a good challenge, I like seeing it all. So that was fine, but they definitely put a lot of that daily challenge footage in there.
Yeah. You want to start off with the daily challenge? It was a majority of the episode.
Yeah, fuck it, let's go into it. I liked it.
Yeah, so I loved this challenge. I love these types of challenges. We saw basically this was a replica of the one on the World's One, where Ninja flipped out on Turbo, even though they ended up winning the challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, extremely fun challenge to watch. It was called Tanks a Lot. There were teams of 3. There's 2 stages, which actually that's the worst part about it, I think, the 2 stages. I think there should have just been 1 stage. Whoever had the most weight wins.
Yeah, didn't mind the second stage. I thought it added an extra element where like your individual gameplay affects your team. Whereas if you had
But I think your individual team, I think an unspoken rule about this challenge was you had to stick together with your team, because we saw every team sticking together carrying I can't even speak today. Junk. Oh, this is going to be a rough podcast.
Very drunk.
Junk, run. But yeah, it seemed like they all had to stick together when carrying the junk back and forth.
No, you think so?
I think so. I would. I rewatched it a couple times and it seemed like it. Let us know, audience, what you think.
I mean, that would kind of affect my opinion on this challenge, but I thought not. But anyway, I like stage two. I liked, you can see out of those six people, like first, second, third, like who came in what order. It kind of gave it that individual feeling. I think in stage two, what they should have done maybe is actually make it individual, and the first male and the first female to cross wins.
Okay, that's a little better than what I was thinking. I was thinking just the first three people to finish gets in the tribunal, but I like the first guy and girl, and then they pick somebody to be their third.
Because like Fessy, I mean, he finished. Fessy was the first guy to finish the second stage, and the first girl to finish was Jenny. Actually,
Fessy finished a day before everybody else.
I mean, Jenny came in second, and she was pretty far ahead of everybody else as well. The fact that Jenny is such a beast. I love her. She's so good.
So the first stage is you got to bring the heaviest amount of junk to your bin, and then whenever TJ says stop, that's when you weigh the bins. First, the top two teams make it to stage two, which is carrying a very heavy sled. It's a guys' elimination week. And anything that stuck out to you in stage one of this challenge?
Yeah, definitely. A couple things. One,
before the challenge, actually, sorry, but Nelson's acknowledgement of his self-humility, saying needy greedy.
Yes!
I mean, that was great.
Yes, I knew you. I thought of you when he said that.
Mm-hmm.
Nelson has become one of my favorite competitors. I don't know, he used to just bother me, like, because he was always like confrontational and like starting fights. But now,
I mean, he's still doing that. I mean, it was only like a couple of episodes ago he was doing this.
No, he's still doing that all season, but like, he's a good competitor and he's fucking hilarious. And I think you're right, like the self-unit, like, I don't know. I really like him now.
Yeah, I think MTV is using him as an audience, he caters to a younger audience.
Yeah.
I think he is like specifically for that younger demographic. And because like they always like edit what he's saying to make it seem like a cartoon. Like he's like, I'm Superman and I got Robin next to me, you know?
I really want to see him win because he's never won. And between actually him and Cory are both like younger competitors that have always been like dying to win. And I'm trying to think if there's anybody else.
They've been in the game for long enough. It's like now is the time where you got to get a win under your belt.
Yeah, Kyle, he doesn't have as much heart as they do. But like I'd love to see one of them win because they've just been trying for so long and they've made it so close. And I think they have a good chance. I think Nelson has a good chance this season. Cory,
I think Nelly should write a children's book on this season. Nelly T and Cory. Let's do it, Nelly.
But yeah, so stage one, I love how Kyle, what did he say? He's like, you're just picking things up and running. That's all I'm good at. And he's like,
and I think back to all the challenges where it was just picking up and running, and he is really good at it. He called himself a workhorse, and that's pretty accurate in my mind.
Yeah, he's like, I just need to be told to do something, and then I can do it. Like he can't.
Like, don't tell me to think. Yeah. Don't, just tell me to pick something up and go somewhere, and I got you. I'm your guy.
He's kind of an idiot, but he's entertaining. Another thing was Cory's leg popping.
Whew. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was going to be more serious from what we saw on the previews of this episode.
Well, you still, I mean, once you disrupt an old injury like that, it's not going to just disappear overnight.
I guess I could be wrong that maybe he injured a different part. Maybe it's not a pre-existing injury because he didn't talk about like I've had problems with this ankle or whatever. So but I definitely remember him having problems like wearing like a knee brace or an ankle brace or something.
It was his knee that he had problems with. At this time, it was his ankle. I'm pretty sure it was a different, but I don't know. We'll see because he got lucky where the elimination was he didn't have to be on his feet. Really?
Although it did require a lot of feet.
You could kick off with one foot or kick or like you could use your momentum. It's not a lot of pressure on your foot. Like
right.
I don't know, but so that was one thing that really stood out. And then oh my god, like TJ laughing, it just
I mean, he said smooth as sandpaper to Johnny Bananas, Rogan, and Melissa, literally rolling a bin that is open, and junk is just pouring out as they're rolling it.
It looks so stupid. Like, might as well drag the bin. Like, what are you doing?
I thought they were joking at first.
Me too, but then they actually kept doing it. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, we talked about how Betsy is a threat and, you know, a very strong competitor this season. And it seems like he enjoys the show. It seems like he wants to be back. And I think people will try to avoid him like the plague in the future. I think he's going to be like the CT. Like, I don't want to go into elimination with him. I'm going to send somebody else in to take him out. Like, that's going to be my whole game plan all season. But we'll see if he gets to the final and if he's a final threat. That's what really matters.
Yeah. I like Fessy. I think he has potential, but to be 100% honest, if I was production, I don't know if I'd invite him back. He's not very entertaining.
Yeah, he's like too good to be not entertaining.
Yeah, he almost would be better in a competition like
football because he was almost a football player.
Or like I'm just trying to think of like a more professional, not like reality TV type of show. Like he's really, really good and strong, and I'm not saying he's a bad personality. He's just doesn't feel like he's made for TV. So
yeah. And we saw him open up a little bit this episode. You know, when he was talking to Josh about not going in, you know, he was getting a little like he wasn't as stoic as he usually is.
Ew, he was like talking with his mouth full.
He had like puffs and like
Dude, that is like one of my biggest. He had like you could see the food in his mouth. I'm like, just swallow the food. Like
yeah.
But it was also interesting. He was talking about he actually played Big Brother with Swaggy. I don't know if we knew that. And he said that Swaggy is completely different than he was in Big Brother. Like, I guess in Big Brother, he was very like egotistical and kind of like man of the house. And here Swaggy's a little bit more insecure and like laying low.
Is that a circumstance of the situation or does Swaggy change?
I would have to say, you know, I would assume that the challenge is a lot more intimidating coming into a game that you probably don't really know what you're getting yourself into, and you know that like vets are held to a high standard. So I think it's circumstantial, but it's interesting to see Fessy kind of comment on that.
Yeah, and Swaggy acknowledged that he's inexperienced, kind of using that as an excuse, which I don't know if I like too much. I mean, that's jumping ahead to the challenge. Or the elimination. Let's just finish the challenge. Kyle almost lost his finger.
Oh yeah. So yeah, this is like really dangerous. There's a lot of sharp metal, and I feel like they should be. Oh my god, I don't know. It made me so nervous. Like they should be wearing full suits.
Yeah, they probably should have been. Yeah, rusty edges. You know, it's literally junk.
And you're rushing, you know, and like you're rushing and you're trying to like work fast, so you're not really thinking about your safety.
And you're carrying with somebody else, like when Swaggy and Nelson were carrying that, and it was like hitting their ankles. I was like, oh, that hurts.
Oh, that's like really, I don't know. That makes me uncomfortable to think about. Last thing with the challenge though, stage 2. God, it really hurts to watch Anissa struggle, man. Would she say to Nelson, or she said to somebody, please help me? How do you expect me to help you?
Yeah, she said to Kyle, yeah.
Oh, to Kyle, yeah.
Please help me.
Like,
They won't see. Just drag me.
I can't help you. Oh man.
Yeah. So the team that ended up winning in stage 2, which was the ultimate winner, was Fessy, Bailey, and Dee. Let's talk about how the 2 teams that advanced to stage 2 were the 2 teams with 2 females on them.
Yeah, represent.
Hey, hey. I mean, Nani said it all. That just speaks about the women that they have on the challenge now. And I completely agree. The crop of women on this show has gotten overall, like every woman on this show is a threat.
Hell yeah. I mean,
And that's probably why they're doing this one winner thing.
yeah. Between Anissa, Jenny, Bailey, and Dee, I mean, if I was one of them in this challenge, I would just be like, I don't care what happens from this point on. I fucking made my point. Like, they're basically, in a sense, yes, they both had strong, well, they had Fessy and Kyle. Kyle's not like, you know, but you look at some of the other teams with 2 guys on it, and pretty incredible.
Yeah, like Swaggy and Nelson.
Yeah, Swaggy and Nelson, Josh and Cory, those are 2 big ass dudes.
Yeah.
Rogan and Bananas, like, yeah, it's wild. It's really crazy. So
yeah, so good for them. Nani was we saw Nelson raving about Nani. Nani seemed to do a lot as well.
I've heard people say that like the past either this season or recent season, saying like she's a really good teammate.
Yeah, I've been like, I'm a nerd, if you didn't know. So I've been putting like names to challengers, like Kyle, the workhorse, you know? And not my Nani is the capable competitor. She's just like so middle of the road, but she'll do what she has to do. She might not win, but she probably won't lose either.
How many times have you heard somebody rag on Nani for saying you never work out, all you do is drink and smoke cigarettes?
Yeah, I mean, we even saw, like, I think last episode where she was like laying on the couch drinking coffee and people were working out and she was like, look at all these athletes.
And that's why she's middle of the road, let's be honest.
Yeah, I think she's fine with that though, so.
Yeah, agreed.
But yeah, that was the challenge. Fessy, Bailey, and Dee win. And the Invisible Woman, I mean, who's Dee? Yeah, so the game of who can get the most house votes begins between Cory and Kyle. And
loved this conversation between Cory and Kyle. Like, this is how 2 adults speak to each other even when they're disagreeing and they're going head to head. What just like that, honestly, that conversation,
it's healthy.
Oh my god, it like gave me goosebumps. I was just like, this is how you have a conversation with somebody, and it was still entertaining to watch, and nobody was like screaming at each other. And don't get me wrong, I love the drama too, but
you need a little bit of both.
It was just really refreshing to see this type of conversation, and especially from 2 people who are like have been way immature in the past. Like, Cory has come a long way, man.
Let's talk about Cory's character growth. I mean, this is a big reason why we watch the challenge. Yeah. Reoccurring cast members. Cory started off as the biggest player we've probably ever seen.
Yeah.
And it's been, 5 years later. He's changed a lot. Obviously, Ryder has to do a lot with that. Having a kid, I can't even imagine how that changes your life. Seeing him cry and open up to Nelson about his past and about his absent father was amazing to watch. I mean, I guarantee Cory gained a bunch of fans. Whoever doesn't like Cory now, it's like, why don't you like Cory?
He gave me goosebumps during all that. It was just so, like, I have no idea. I don't have kids, but like, we can see it as viewers, like, from him just being like kind of a womanizer to this completely new perspective about not only females, but like family and life and like everything. And to see him talk about his daughter like that, and cry and not be ashamed and just be like his heart completely open about it was really, really, I fell in love with him. I was like,
Yeah. And even that conversation that we talked about with Kyle, like you could see that his growth in that conversation as well.
yeah, definitely. No, it reminds me of CT.
Go ahead.
It reminds me of CT. Like it's a good comparison of just. I mean, CT was over a lot longer period, but
Right.
I feel like Cory will probably be doing these challenges for a while, and he'll just keep growing, and it'll be interesting. You know,
Yeah, he might become the face of the challenge after Bananas is gone. I think they were really trying to push that. I remember on Vendettas in Times Square, they had a big poster of Cory and Bananas. And then on Vendettas, Cory ended up going home like second elimination or first elimination. So it's like, why would you headline him? And I think they're just really trying to push Cory. And they don't need to push Cory anymore because Cory is a good person.
Yeah.
And hopefully that makes for good TV, which I think it will, because we've seen how he's grown. You know, if he just came in, if this was his first season, we probably wouldn't have liked him as much because we like to see people make mistakes and grow from them.
Yeah. No, that whole scene was beautiful. And
that's how you express yourself.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find a soundbite for express yourself. Way harder than I thought, so I'll work on that.
I got you.
Okay.
But yeah, I loved seeing the two of them, you know, trying to fight for the house vote. Question: where's Josh? Why does he not want to go get a red skull?
Josh? I don't know where he is.
I don't understand. Like,
oh, because he's scared.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He's hiding.
Every single time, and we've said this for previous episodes, if you don't have a red skull and you're not campaigning yourself to be the house vote, you're scared or you don't care and you don't want to, like, that's
you know what? My mind has changed. I think everyone's going to get a red skull. I thought this whole twist is BS. Everyone's going to have a red skull, and then they're going to have like 2 episodes where everyone has a red skull, and then, you know, people will lose and, you know, go home with their red skull, but they'll go home. I think everyone will have a chance to get a red skull. It's unfortunate because this twist was supposed to be like, ha, gotcha, we're going to the final. But I don't think it's going to be like that.
Oh, which actually means that there was no point for the red skull thing. Like,
yeah, which actually means, yeah, it was pointless because I like the challenge better when there's not this red skull twist.
I don't know if I like it better. I kind of like seeing people watch. I don't need to see it every time, but I liked it.
I didn't hate it, but I think it had an effect on deliberations, you know, everything. It had an effect on everything.
Yeah, this changes everything.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah, it's the challenge. We'll see. Because we even heard, like, we got like almost like a mid-season trailer at the end.
Well, they're more than halfway through, and right now, there's 3 girls and 3 guys. No, 3 girls and 2 guys without skulls.
Mm-hmm.
So
we'll see.
I mean,
I heard TJ say, like, if you have a red skull, you better keep it, or something like that.
It looked like next episode was a big, like, game changer. I don't know. We'll see. All right, Cory gets the house vote.
House votes. Yes, it was. Oh, man. Cory gives his first successful speech in his life. He just, you know, impresses us throughout this whole episode.
What about Kyle? He's like, all right, you guys want to have water at home?
That was the best reaction. It was the best follow-up you could have had after that speech.
Yes.
But so, he wasn't winning. He was fighting an uphill battle. He wasn't winning that.
That was good.
I like the original reaction where it was like, no, you didn't. And he was like, yes, you did.
Like, oh, shit. Oh, that was good.
Josh swore on his family that he would vote for Cory. Why are you running around the house swearing on your family? That's somebody I would not be able to trust in the house.
Yeah. How about oh my gosh, Melissa, when she mimicked Josh.
Oh my god.
It was so weird because she has such a heavy, like British accent.
She's got a pretty good English one too.
So to hear her do like a English American accent was one just funny in itself, but then doing it of Josh, I was like, this is wild. Like,
yeah, she popped off. That's the definition of pop off right there.
Yes. How about when she said, he goes, "Oh, I thought we were friends or something." She goes, "I don't even know who you are. Like, I don't even know you. Like, don't say we're." That was wild. When he's on, he goes, "I thought we were cool." She's like, "I don't even know you."
Yeah. Melissa put Josh in his place right there.
You know what I keep thinking about during that whole scene and her hopping up on the table, everything. She was pregnant.
You saw it, huh?
No, she.
Oh, just you. Yeah. Okay.
I'm just doing math.
Right. I actually forgot she was pregnant. Yeah. I just keep forgetting.
She had to find out she was pregnant like week 1 or 2 of the challenge, and we're more than that in. So she
knows.
No, she doesn't necessarily know. At that point, at that episode, she doesn't necessarily know, but she was.
It's like at some point you got to figure it out. I mean, I'm no woman over here, but at some point I'm sure you would figure it out, and then I don't know if you would be so willing to participate in these daily challenges, especially if they're dangerous.
So yes and no. I mean, in the easy answer is, you get your period every month, and if you don't get it 1 month, you start to worry, and if a week goes by and you still haven't gotten it, so now you're at like 5 weeks, then you usually take a pregnancy test. However, there are a handful of women who still get their period even though they're pregnant, and if that's the case, you wouldn't think to check until you start seeing, like, feeling like changes.
Okay, so there's a chance she could still be getting her period.
But like even if you do get your period while you're pregnant, it's very like different. So she's still like, no. So girl talk. Yeah,
girl talk.
Just talking about periods and stuff.
Yeah, we're talking about the challenge, I swear.
I guess my point is, you can't go more than like a month or 2 without having suspicions and then maybe taking a test. So
yeah, she doesn't have to make it to the end of this game.
That's what I'm really curious what happens if she finds out on the show. I don't know like the time frame of the show, but we know it was filmed in October and November, I believe.
Yeah.
September, October.
I'm sure we'll get the inside scoop on the reunion. I'm sure that will come up.
It's definitely interesting though, because every time I see her like competing or like popping off, I'm like, damn, she doesn't know she has a baby yet.
Yeah, but that argument was everything. I couldn't understand half of what Melissa said, but it was still great.
Wait, since we're talking about Melissa and Josh, how about the beginning of the episode where she's like so mad at Bananas and Josh, and which I honestly like, whatever. Okay, so she's all upset at them, and Josh goes, can I hug you? Like, no, Josh. Like, she's telling you that she wants nothing to do with you ever again, and you're like, well, can I get a hug?
Yeah. It's like an ultimatum. Can I get a hug? All right, I hate you.
No, he's so funny. Oh my god. Anyway. All right.
Yeah. Transition to the bar.
Yeah.
And we see that maybe Casey and Nany are a little closer than we thought.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's like on one side, it's really nice to find somebody, like, it's cute to see like 2 people really vibing, but at the same time, I'm like, how serious is your girlfriend back home? Because, I mean, if it's not that serious, then maybe you just found the love of your life and that's great, but figure it out. It does seem like they have a really cute connection though. Like, it seems it's better than Bear and Kayla, which was,
that's like bottom of the barrel. I mean, it's
they were just like using each other and it was like so sloppy, whereas like this feels, I don't know, we'll see what happens.
No, yeah, it's definitely cute, but at the same time, yeah, you automatically think back to Casey having somebody at home, and it's
And
unfortunate. But is it unfortunate? Do they really love each other at home? But this isn't the way to react to the situation if you don't really love the person as much as you thought at home. It's
yeah, I mean, maybe just call them and break up with them and then be like, all right, Nani, I'm all yours. I don't know. It's
yeah.
easier said than done, but I'm curious to see where it goes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you think this is foreshadowing something that happens, like some type of romance?
I mean, who knows? Finding love on the challenge is a beautiful thing. So we've seen it
That's the first time
before.
I've ever heard that one.
I, Cory and Jordan, like they're beautiful, and so and
Back
like
in Jenna.
yeah, well, that's not beautiful, but I mean, CT and Demi, like romance on the challenge is, you know,
Who'd you say?
CT and Demi.
Demi? DM.
Yeah, thank you.
God, we need to get you some more challenge seasons under your
Why?
belt. Demi? Who the hell is Demi?
I don't know. Why did I say Demi?
I thought you said Jenny, Jemmy. I don't know. You just mixed up some names. Yeah, you definitely knew DM. But yeah, we even hear Casey say, "Thanks, sis," after Nani calling her like the perfect person, and then she whispered, "I have a crush on my sis." Did
Who
you
did?
get that?
Nani did.
No, Casey did.
Oh.
Yeah. Like that was like, oh, it's for real.
Oh, I thought Nani said I have a crush on you.
No,
Like,
if I'm not mistaken, I rewatched the episode a couple times, and Nani said, if I had to build the perfect person, it would be you. Casey said, thanks, sis, then whispered, I have a crush on my sis. And then Nani said, no, you don't.
oh.
That's pretty serious. I mean, if I was Casey's girlfriend at home, I'd be like, it's over after
Well, then
that.
they started showing clips of them cuddling, and I was like, oh, they didn't show us all that. Like,
Yeah. They kind of made it seem like it died off.
yeah. But apparently, then they just started pulling up random clips. I'm like, oh, okay, they've been flirting for a while.
Yeah. But it could have been manipulated by the edit, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm tired of all these. Go ahead.
I'm still trying to figure out who Demi is. I'm it's like I feel like I had a small stroke, and now I'm trying to recover, like live.
Retrace your footsteps. How'd you get to this moment?
I don't know. I don't know.
We see Bailey and Swaggy have a couple of conversations this episode. I'm tired, and Fessy and Josh, I'm tired of these new people thinking that they played a great game. They've never gotten voted in. They blah, 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 blah. It's a different game this season, okay?
So yeah, and all I was thinking about during that scene of Bailey and Swaggy talking about like, you know, they like how they made it so far, and almost like if they don't win, it's going to be like this terrible thing. I hate to break it to you, but you're probably not going to win. Like rookies, you got to come back. Like rookies don't just win the first time around. Like you kind of have to earn it, and you have to come back, and you have to really want it. Like for a rookie to win on their first season, it's not a common thing. And I don't know what makes you think that like it should just, you should just get it. Like and what bothers me the most is Bailey made a comment. I don't know if we've already talked about this, but Bailey made a comment saying like, this, you know, this is one and done for me. Like if I'm only doing this once, like, so I need to win. And it's like, well, then you can't just do it once and expect to win. Like people come on season after season after season, like trying to win. And not that you shouldn't, if you deserve it, you deserve it, but it's not going to be handed to you.
Yeah, and we saw Bailey say something similar in the other episode where she was like, I don't want to ever do this again. I just, want this to be a one-time thing. And I mean, this is probably a big assumption, and I could very well be wrong, but it seems like Bailey, like I kind of said this before, just wants to be handed things without doing all of the work. She'll do some of the work, but not all of it.
I just don't think she understands the game, rookie. And the fact that she said like, this is the one time I'm doing this, I don't want to do this again, I don't enjoy this,
I don't want to see you again.
Yeah, she's like, I just want the money. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I want a competitor that's here for everything. Like
yeah.
that.
Real quick, The only rookie, I'm pretty sure the only rookie to win is Turbo.
So, we've had rookies make it to the final, but not win, right?
Yeah, right. I mean, Jay and Jenna made it to the final. Theo, I think, was a rookie on World of Worlds 1. He made it to the final.
I
Yeah,
just don't,
rookies make it to the final, but it's about experiencing a final and then knowing what to expect because a final is something so different than the daily challenges and everything.
I just feel like they have a delusional concept of the challenge and they still don't fully understand it.
I think they're very strange people.
I don't think they've watched the challenge before.
It's fine if they don't. We've seen people that go on the challenge that don't watch the challenge before, but there's something off about them.
Why? Because they love each other?
No, it's just the way they communicate and the way Swaggy talks about himself in third person all the time and
I don't know. We'll see. All I'm saying is they shouldn't be upset if they don't win on their rookie season. Like, don't expect that. It's probably not going to happen. You might have to come back again if you really want it.
Yeah, and they tried to push this whole storyline of Swaggy not wanting to go in, but they didn't really show us any of that. They showed Swaggy like maybe that time at the bar, kind of like down in the dumps.
Well, keep in mind, there could have been more footage, but maybe Dee was in it.
Yeah, good point.
So
yeah.
anytime there's a gap in a storyline, we always have to assume it probably had to get cut out. Maybe she was even in the room, or maybe she was the one that they were talking to.
Yeah.
So, like, maybe, yeah. I just looked down at my paper and there's like a nice drool mark on there. So
just drooling while you're talking.
Don't know when that happened, but enjoy.
And you're trying to think of who Demi was. You're just like, oh.
Probably. So embarrassed. Oh, I hate myself.
And with Bailey, it's like, give your husband some fucking confidence.
I don't know. I think she was rooting him on.
It was like half. It's like she was just scared. I understand she was scared that he would lose, but you don't want to put that notion in his mind.
Well, think about how Jordan was acting when Tori was in. Jordan was not acting.
Maybe you got this, and then he flipped out during the elimination.
Jordan flipped out on Tori, like that. He tripped her up. Like, that is not a supportive way. No, I think it's hard to say. Like, I don't know. I guess there's a lot of pressure and anxieties, and but I guess let's just get into, the
interrogations.
Yeah, it was boring because
just real quick. Yeah, I mean, Dee didn't get her. We understand. Maybe not everybody, but obviously there was some type of storyline between Dee and Rogan this episode.
Yeah, and Dee and
Josh.
No, Dee was on the opposing side of the tribunal of Bailey and Fessy because he did not vote with them. So there was clearly something, some divide and probably confrontation that we didn't see, that we can assume, because she ends up voting Kyle. So there's definitely something we're missing, but and she
we saw Josh had the conversation with the tribunal in the interrogation, and then he left the room. Everything seemed fine. Slammed the door, and then Fessy said to Dee, "You handled that well."
Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah. And we can even hear Nelson, after seeing the nominees posted on the board, say Dee didn't get her way.
Oh, okay. I missed that.
And then when Rogan was walking towards the names, they were joking and saying, "You got voted in. Dee voted you in." And then.
So she did. So you think her way was trying to get Rogan sent in?
Yeah.
Okay. Real quick. Not that I expected it at all, but we're never going to see the deleted clips like we did last week, right?
No. Yeah, they're editing around it. I mean, it's never going to be out there in the ether, so we'll never see them.
All right, I'll accept it.
What's going on?
Elimination.
Yeah. Cory. Before that, Cory was very open about his injury to his potential and eventual competitor.
I know. You know what I was thinking that would be really clever? If he was faking it.
Right.
And then whoever goes in against him is like, oh, he's injured. I got this. And they have this false sense of like comfort. And then Cory's like, psych, I'm not injured. But
Well, maybe a couple seasons Cory will think like that, but hey, all right, calm down now. He's grown, but not that much.
he's not banana status.
No.
Bananas would do some shit like that.
Yeah, because if this elimination was physical, it's very easy to target that.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought the same thing. I'm like, wow, he shouldn't be telling people he's injured.
Especially somebody who he will probably go against.
Yeah.
And did go against. So let's talk about that. Bailey had me for a second. Thought she was going to try to save Swaggy and vote in somebody else.
I knew Swaggy was going in.
Yeah. Elimination was called Launch Button. Basically a glamorized version of Bright Light when it was Bananas versus Devin.
I have to be completely honest with you. I do not understand this elimination. They kept talking about needing memory, and I do not understand why you needed memory in this challenge. I don't understand what the point was.
Because if you hit the same button that you hit, you turn the light back off, so then you have to hit it again.
But can't they just see the light going on and off?
Yeah, but I mean that takes more times, more swings. I mean, you want to get it right. You don't want to turn off a light that you've already turned on because then it probably confuses you more.
But you don't need memory. You can just see if the light is on or off.
That's true. I mean, yeah, memory, but you have a plan B by looking at the light.
No, I feel like plan one would be looking at the light. Like, why would you memorize something when you don't need to? I don't get it.
Yeah. All right, you got me stumped there.
I was like, I kept rewinding, and I was like, why the fuck do they keep saying, like, I have a good memory, so this is going to be good? And then even Bailey was yelling, all right, you have to hit that top. Like, can't they just see which lights are off and which ones they need to hit?
Yeah, but are the lights in according to the buttons? Because the buttons were scattered, but the lights were just in a row. You know?
I think that they explained it poorly because I kept rewinding it and I do not understand why they needed memory.
Well, yeah, there's a 40-foot container, 20 buttons on each side. You start off in a harness in the middle of your side of the container. You must swing yourself back and forth, pushing these buttons. Remembering which buttons you pressed is key. Apparently not, because the lights you get a signifier that the lights are turned off if you hit the same button. And yeah, you win by getting all your lights on.
Who said this? That Swaggy has less swag than anybody they've seen.
Bananas. Yeah, I mean, it's true.
He could not find his groove in the beginning. He was like flopping around. I was like, oh boy, this is going to be rough.
Yeah, and he was like, I've never been in a harness before. This is my inexperience. But the daily challenge, Fast and Furious, you could have gotten something from there.
Yeah, he did admit though that his inexperience, which is good. Like that's what the rookies need to know is like the chances of you winning are low because of your inexperience on the challenge.
Yeah, these challenges are not every day. They're literally different every time. Yeah, they can be similar, but they're different.
It's one of those things where you can't really train for it. Like the reason Bananas is so good is because he's seen so many of them.
Yeah. There's nothing he hasn't really seen. Yeah, I mean, Swaggy was gracious in defeat. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
Cory wins. Cory's technique outshines Swaggy. As we talked about, Swaggy just, I think somebody said, looked like a fish out of water. You know, just dead weight hanging back and forth. Using his hands a lot when it seemed like using your feet was the way to go.
Momentum. I feel like both of them in the beginning, like couldn't figure out like using your body weight and your momentum.
Yeah, it was pretty embarrassing in the beginning.
But easier said than done. You know, I always, God, I want to do a challenge. Like I want to see how I do. Because I always talk so much smack. I'm like, oh my God, I would have done that so much better. It's like, what I have? I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard from our point of view.
Well, you have that obstacle course coming up. That should be interesting.
Yeah, they got postponed, but they haven't said anything since.
No, But like stuff like that, I feel like are good opportunities to test like those weird set of skills.
Yeah, I'm really excited. What's it called? Dragon Course?
Dragon race or
Dragon
something.
Race, something. Hope there's some, yeah, some challenge-esque activities during it.
I feel like that's like a niche of like races that are missing. Because when I tried to like look up some, there were a couple, but I feel like that'd be a really cool entrepreneur like opportunity to start a series of like races that are really influenced by the challenge and like weird obstacle courses and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I know it was like always Car's dream to make like a challenge gym where that there would be some, you know, challenge related activities. I think even Emily Schramm has her own gym and she probably has kind of the same thing going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, anything else?
No, I mean we covered it. I mean, basically, I'm fine with D being cut out. I think I was so upset last week because of the hour long and how choppy it was.
Yeah.
But they made up for it. You know, they made their decision and they've done a lot better at making it feel a little bit more seamless. So I'm happy. If this is what it's going to be like moving forward,
I'm okay with it.
I'm happier than I was last week.
Yeah.
Do we know if there's one winner on this season?
No, we don't know yet. And speaking of, um let's pretend the final starts now.
Yeah.
Who would you pick? You would still pick Fessy, I'm assuming, for the
Yeah, I
guy.
think I would still go. I mean, I said Jenny and Fessy, and I guess I'm a little bit tossed up between D and Jenny, but I'm gonna say Jenny and Fessy. I don't know if there's anybody else that I would choose over them at this point. They're beasts.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of beasts on both sides. The crop has just gotten way better overall.
I know. I mean,
Hard to
let's
pick,
say
but I guess I would pick Fessy as well. I mean, he dominated this challenge.
if I had, I guess an easier question would be out of the guys, the women and men without Red Skulls, who do I think is most likely to get one next? Like if they were to all go head to head. And we were right. We chose Cory last time, so we were right.
We were right on our second go.
Yeah, because Maddie was the other one, so we messed up there. But between Josh and Kyle,
Yeah, I mean, if it you know, the perfect storm would be Josh versus Kyle. I could see Josh staying out of another one.
that would be stupid on his part. If Josh and Kyle, I feel like that would be a pretty even matchup, but maybe I would go Josh. And then between Nani, Melissa, and Bailey, I would say Bailey or Melissa. Maybe Bailey.
Yeah, I'm going with Melissa on that one. She's feisty.
She's feisty, but I mean,
So is
Bailey,
Bailey. Bailey's feisty.
stage 2 on that challenge, Bailey really proved herself. So, or stage 1 and 2.
Yeah, 1 and 2, right. Let's see. We get a sneak peek of part of the final and something that's just like synonymous with me with challenge final and climbing a mountain. And I saw them climbing a mountain, so I'm really excited for the final.
Covered in snow.
Yes.
Reminds me of the season where Bananas stole from Sarah.
Oh wait. Well, that stole the money?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Rivals 3. Yeah, I think they did end up climbing a mountain at the end of that. I forget. But it reminds me of when Johnny Bananas and Camilla passed CT and DM on the mountain. Rival or X's, one of the X's.
Demi or DM?
I'm going to go with DM. How about you? Demi or DM?
I'm just drooling.
That wraps it up for our recap. Thanks for joining. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comments. Leave some comments in there so we get back to you. Got a lot of new viewers, got some new subscribers. So excited for that. Thanks for joining us.
We got a lot of views on one of our recent episodes.
Yeah, almost like 150. Not everyone obviously watched it, but we almost got 1,000 watch minutes.
Ooh, that's exciting. Thanks, guys.
Hey, All right, but yeah, thanks for joining us, and until next time, peace out.